Hey friends, welcome back to the Shannon McCabe Show. Today we are talking about what happens when you first take a break from drinking or quit drinking and find your sugar cravings to be out of control. And also maybe likely find yourself in a position where you're not losing the weight that you thought you would, and or the scale is even creeping up a little bit, okay? So let's talk about that. First of all, you guys, it's really important for you to know that you are not doing anything wrong and you are not broken. This is not how things are going to stay for the entirety of your not drinking life, okay? You are not the only one that experiences this. This, meaning craving sugar and or not losing weight or even maybe gaining a couple of pounds, is one of the most common things that women experience when they first quit drinking. And understanding why this happens, what's going on, makes a huge difference because it makes it easier for you to be proactive about the things that you can control and to also be patient with the process that your body is going through once you understand it, okay? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what's really going on inside your body, what those sugar cravings are trying to tell you, and why that number on the scale is really actually not the thing you should be focused on at all right now, okay? So here's what's happening when you're craving sugar. Alcohol acts like a fast-acting sugar in your body. Every time you drank, it spikes your blood sugar. And then it drops just as quickly, okay? Your brain gets used to that pattern. Those super quick hits of dopamine and the glucose that come along with it make you feel calm and comfortable for just a moment though, right? And we've talked about that in the past. If you haven't listened to episodes I've done already talking about dopamine and even the blood sugar roller coaster that drinking puts us on, I really encourage you to go back and listen to those after this because it's going to help you understand even more what's going on in your brain. But when you do drink and alcohol acts as that fast acting sugar, you get calm, you get that hit of dopamine, but then you crash. It leaves your brain wanting more. So when you first quit drinking and take alcohol away, your brain and your body don't actually understand yet that that's a good thing. It just knows that something familiar is gone. It knows that its usual source of dopamine, that high, is gone. It's not coming around all of a sudden. And it's trying to figure out what to do as a replacement, what to crave, what to tell you that you need as a replacement. So that's why these sugar cravings show up. Your body's not betraying you. It's not trying to sabotage you even. It's just trying to keep you stable. It's trying to keep you in the same place that you've always been in. So in these early weeks, that's why it's actually okay. It is more than okay to give into those sugar cravings, to give your brain and body what it's asking for, because it's trying to just reestablish that homeostasis. It's trying to keep you balanced. So a handful of chocolate chips, fruit, sugary drinks or mocktails, extra ice cream, all of it, you guys, it's not a sign of weakness. And it's also not a sign that this is how sobriety or long-term not drinking would go for you. This is just a very, very early beginning stage of your body trying to figure out how to rebalance, how to recalibrate, okay? So no, the goal is not to replace alcohol with sugar forever. But the goal is to give your body like a soft landing, a soft, safe space while your brain relearns how to do what it's trying to do. You've done a good thing by taking away alcohol, but all your brain knows is this huge chemical source of dopamine is all of a sudden missing, and it's trying to figure out what's happening if that source of dopamine is coming back. And when it's not, it's just trying to find a replacement for it while at the same time trying to relearn how to do things like produce and manage and regulate its own dopamine without these artificial resources, okay? That takes time. Your brain is literally rewiring, it's relearning, it's recalibrating, okay? Part of what this means for women especially, because this is what I hear so often, this likely means that you are not seeing the scale go down. You might even see it going up a little bit. And if you are taking a break from drinking, if you're doing something like Sober October or Dry January and your husband or boyfriend is doing it with you, they maybe have seen the scale go down. And it can be so frustrating because we're like, why? Why do men get to just drop weight more easily than we do? And you guys, it's one of those things that is just a fact of life. And it's not fair, but it is what it is, okay? So don't spend your energy fixating and focusing on that. Let's spend it focusing on what you can do, okay? Because yes, I know it feels discouraging. I know it's hugely discouraging when you're like, I've done this really good thing by not drinking. And happy sober people like me talk about how the healing journey likely at some point has meant losing weight, feeling better, not needing or wanting sugar. But you guys, that rarely happens in the first few months even. But that's okay. We've got to be realistic and think about how long we gave our body alcohol, how long we trained our body with that alcohol use. So we've got to be realistic about the coming down from that, right? We've got to be realistic about how long it's going to take to repair and undo all of that, okay? Because this is what's happening inside. Your body, with alcohol out of the picture, is finally shifting from just survival mode, trying to survive that alcohol use, to actually healing. When you remove alcohol, your hormones start to rebalance. So we're talking about things like cortisol, insulin, estrogen. There is such a delicate dance of stuff going on inside of your body. And this is more true for women than it is for men. And this all takes time. And this means that your body is not necessarily prioritizing things like losing weight or fat metabolism, okay? It is trying to rebalance these hormones that are like essential to life. All of those things control how your body stores fat and processes energy and handles stress, all right? Another thing that's happening is your gut is repairing itself. Like your GI tract is trying to heal and repair because alcohol has damaged all of that, right? It's damaged how we absorb and use nutrients. It's affected our liver, which everybody knows at this point. But what can happen during this initial phase, this first few weeks, even the first few months, is your body is actually holding on to water. It's actually holding on to nutrients more. It's actually even holding on to inflammation while it tries to heal and stabilize. So any and all of these things can lead to more bloating, weight staying the same, or even adding on a few extra pounds, okay? And then you add in, you guys, the component of sleep. Like, yes, when we quit drinking, our sleep improves, but not always right away. It can take some time. And even that time where we're still waiting for our sleep to even out, that affects things like our weight and our hormones. So if you've quit drinking and you're not seeing that instant weight loss, you guys, or you're even up a few pounds, I just want you to understand that that's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's certainly not a failure. And it's also not a sign that this is how it's always going to be. It is simply biology. It is the biology and the chemistry of what's happening in these first few weeks or even the first few months now that you have taken alcohol away. You've absolutely done the right thing by removing alcohol. And I really want to remind you and hammer this home that this process of like repairing and recalibrating, it's certainly not going to get better or go more quickly if you go back to drinking, okay? Good things take time. Healing your body, repairing the damage that alcohol has done, takes time. There's really no way around that. There are not shortcuts. Like, yes, there are things that we can do to encourage this healing and to soothe ourselves while we're healing. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. But I want you to get rid of this idea that you're somehow behind or you're somehow not doing it right or that it's not worth it because you quit drinking and didn't magically drop 10 pounds in a month. The fact is, you guys, that just doesn't happen for very many people, okay? What if you could finally break free from the constant cycle of drinking, quitting, bargaining with yourself, and actually build a life that feels calm and clear and deeply aligned with who you want to be? I created the alcohol-free blueprint for women who are ready to stop trying to moderate and start feeling confident and steady and fully present in their life again. This program isn't just about quitting drinking. It's about taking back your energy and your mindset and your wellness and your freedom. Inside the blueprint, I'll walk you step by step through the tools, mindset shifts, and support systems that actually help you change for good. You'll learn how to handle cravings, rebuild your habits, feel stronger in your body, and navigate all of life's ups and downs without alcohol. And you'll have full access to over 45 video lessons, journaling prompts, live coaching, and community support. So you never have to do this alone. One of my clients, let's call her Sarah, came to me after years of trying to control her drinking. She told me, I finally feel free. I'm not constantly thinking about drinking anymore. I have energy again, and I actually like myself. And that's just the kind of change we're after. Most of my clients are excited to no longer be a drinker after just 30 days inside the blueprint. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start living the life alcohol has been holding you back from, head to the link in the show notes or go find me over on Instagram. I would love to help you take this next step. This is one of these times where we've got to kind of we got to suck it up. We got to face reality. We've got to be grown-ups and acknowledge that this is a long process. Our drinking was a really long process, right? Most of us gave alcohol years, if not decades. We've got to be realistic about how long it's going to take to repair the damage that alcohol did, okay? Here's an analogy that helps a lot of my clients that I want to share with you guys today. Think of what's happening inside of your body. Think of the idea of weight, the sugar cravings, all of it, you guys. Think of it like a renovation. When you are trying to build something new or trying to tweak and change and repair something that's broken, it gets really messy before it gets beautiful, right? The messy part usually lasts longer than you want. Like, how many times have you heard, or maybe you've experienced it yourself, you're doing a renovation or a remodel and it takes longer than you think it's going to take. Things pop up, things go sideways unexpectedly. And you have no choice but to just stick with it and see it through. And then at the end, on the flip side, you get what you want. You get the beautiful remodel and renovation that you had been imagining the whole time. That is the same with this journey. The goals you have for your health, the goals you have for your weight loss are absolutely attainable and they're possible, but you can't skip this messy healing part. You simply cannot skip the renovation. It's the only way to build a solid foundation that is going to look and feel beautiful in the end, okay? So instead of worrying about the sugar or worrying about the number on the scale right now, I want you to focus on nourishment. I want you to focus on nourishing your body, not restricting things, okay? And the ways you can do this is what I was mentioning earlier. Some of the things that you can do to be proactive and to try to minimize or at least feel like you are being a little bit proactive and in control of these sugar cravings, things that you can do so that they're not just running wild and you don't feel completely like a victim to them. Focus on protein, you guys. Women, especially the older we get, protein matters so much for our mood, for our energy, and for our weight, okay? So women should be focusing on getting 100 grams of protein a day. You can do this by meat, lean meat, chicken, fish, seafood, beef, dairy, organic dairy, like Greek yogurt, protein powders, hard-boiled eggs, tuna, tofu. You guys, the options are endless. Focus on protein. This not only helps dampen our alcohol and sugar cravings because it keeps our blood sugar stable. So we're not on this constant high and low roller coaster, which is when we often crave alcohol and sugar. But it really goes a long way to helping our brain and helping our hormones, all of which play into that bloating and that weight. And again, the sugar cravings. Okay. So another thing is fiber, you guys. Good quality fiber, especially if you notice maybe that, and this is not TMI because this was real, you guys, if your bowel movements are not regular since you've quit drinking, focus on water, focus on fiber, because sometimes the weight staying on or even the weight creeping up is that you're just simply not excreting the toxins that your cells are now finally dumping because alcohol is out of the way. You should be having one bowel movement a day, at least. If you're not, start moving your body. Focus on water, focus on fiber, okay? Water, you guys, the rule of thumb is half of your body weight in ounces of water every day. So for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, that means aim to get 75 ounces of water a day. This is also good on its own, go a long way to help sugar cravings because there's so many times that we think we're hungry, we think we're craving a drink, we think we're craving sugar or food when really we're actually just thirsty. We're mildly dehydrated, okay? Make sure you're getting enough water every day. Another thing, you guys, is rest. So many of us take out alcohol, start these dry months or quit drinking and expect our life to just keep chugging along the way that it has been. Quitting drinking is a huge thing physiologically and biology and chemistry and all of that. We've got to honor our body's need to rest while we heal and while we repair. Rest is not a weakness and rest is certainly not a luxury, you guys. We need rest, just like we need food and water, okay? So be gentle with yourself. Ease up on your schedule where you can. Put boundaries in place to let your body rest because you're going to be a lot less inclined to reach for the indulgent, sugary things, just to push through and keep you going if you're actually resting the way that you need to, okay? Because this time, these early days, these early weeks, these early months of quitting drinking, this is not the time for punishment, you guys. And this is not the time to restrict other things. The best thing you're doing right now is staying alcohol free. So don't deny yourself sugar if and when you need it. We're in this for the long haul, right? We are creating habits that are going to last and serve you for a really long time. That number one habit is just keeping alcohol out of the picture. Things like sugar will resolve itself, okay? You will not always crave sugar the way that you are in the beginning. And just remind yourself when when I'm talking about this, like, it's not the time for punishment. It's not the time for restriction, you guys. We didn't damage our body all in one day with our drinking, okay? We won't heal it all in one day by depriving ourselves of something like sugar. Healing happens when we nourish our body, when we nourish our mind, and also when we give ourselves things like grace and kindness and forgiveness and love. And when we're consistent with these practices that nourish us, okay? So the next time a sugar craving hits, or you even notice that your jeans feel a little snug and you're just inclined to get frustrated. And I get it, you guys, because it is frustrating. We're doing this huge thing. We're doing this awesome thing, not drinking. But this is an opportunity for us to grow. This is an opportunity for us to grow in our trust in ourselves and our faith in ourselves, our faith in this journey, that it's going to be worth it if we stick with it, okay? When those things happen, when you are craving sugar, if the scale is not budging, remember, you guys, your body is not betraying you. It's just trying to rebalance. It's working really, really hard, actually, to heal and to get better and to get stronger, okay? Every single craving, every fluctuation, it's just part of how your body is trying to find its balance again. It's trying to find its rhythm. It's trying to relearn how to do the things that we didn't let it do when we were drinking, okay? So trust the process. Surrender to the process. That's not a weakness. It's just stating that it is what it is. Healing takes time. This process takes time. And as much as it's okay for us to have kind of these more of the vanity goals of quitting drinking, right? Because we hear about it. We hear about the losing weight. We hear about, our skin gets clearer, our eyes get better, our hair gets better. It's fine to want all of these things, but we need to be realistic. And in the meantime, when we're trying to bridge that gap between where we are right now and where we want to be, this is an opportunity for us to just grow in our peace with ourselves and our acceptance of ourselves and love ourselves. And remember that we are worthy of the good things that this journey brings, but we often have to wait a little longer than we really would want to get to those good things, okay? And it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong, and it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, and it doesn't mean that your body is failing you somehow. Your body is working really, really hard. And you're getting a chance to build accountability with yourself by focusing on healthier habits. You're getting a chance to build trust with yourself by working on healthier habits, okay? All of that brings us peace. All of that is part of the peace and the freedom that this journey makes available to us if we are willing to do things on this journey's terms. It's not going to unfold the way we want it to, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. You guys have heard me say that before. When things take time, when change is presented to you, don't automatically assume that it's bad. Okay? There's still so much that you're doing right, and there's still so much to be grateful for. Even if you're eating chocolate or ice cream every single night, even if the weight on the scale has not budged, you guys, you're doing a fantastic thing by staying alcohol free. That is absolutely your biggest and number one priority and your biggest win every single day. Trust that it all shakes out in the end, okay? So I hope that this chat served you. I hope that this is maybe the pep talk you needed to hear, to know that nothing is wrong with you for wanting and needing sugar. You are not weak, and that it's actually okay to let your body have the sugar it's craving during this time. I hope that this maybe served as a little bit of an exhale, so you'll be a little bit gentler with yourself, a little bit kinder to yourself. Give yourself the grace and the consideration that you would give to one of your kids or your best friend or your sister if they were doing a huge monumental thing like this, okay? Because you're not doing anything wrong and you're not broken, and it's not never going to happen for you. You've just got to be patient. You've got to give it a little bit more time. All right. If you also feel like you need more support like this, you need to know more about what's happening so that you can be more patient. You need more tools to understand, because you guys, that's the thing a lot of people don't realize, you guys. Sobriety, quitting drinking, you guys, it's a skill. It's something that any of us can learn. Any of us are capable of learning how to be happy without alcohol. Most of the time, we just need to be taught that skill. We just need to be taught the things that we don't know. So if you need more of that in your life, I encourage you to check out the show notes and look at the alcohol-free blueprint. That is my signature quit drinking program. It's what I did to go from drinking almost 2 bottles of wine a night to happily sober, to quitting without feeling deprived, without feeling FOMO, without being miserable, without wishing I could still drink, to just being happy to be a non-drinker. It's helped hundreds of other women do the same thing now too. So you guys check it out. Join us there if you need more support. And if this helped you, share it with another friend that quit drinking and is maybe wrestling with these sugar cravings, okay? Thanks for hanging out, you guys, and I will be back next week.